Na Porca with Tomás McCarthy on WLR.
Thanks to PwC Waterford.
And who's going to take the penalty? Do you remember the Munster final a couple of years ago, 1995? Davy Fitzgerald has come all the way up the field. Clare must get a goal here. David Fitzgerald has scored!
So I'm here with Wexford hurling manager Davy Fitzgerald. Davy, first of all, how proud are you to be associated with an event like this?
That's very important. Listen, when you have your health, you have everything, and if you can get together and help some people that aren't as fortunate as we are at the moment, it's great, and it's great to get behind this, the golf challenge, and the number of different people that has supported down through the years is absolutely fantastic.
How is the golf game at the moment, or have you enough time to perfect it?
I think I played last October. That was the last time I played. Weather probably doesn't allow it either, and training definitely doesn't. So I know we'll get back to that again. So there'll be no fear.
Do you enjoy coming back here to Waterford, Davy?
Oh, I love Waterford. Always did. Was treated with massive respect down here, and had a great 3.5 years. Absolutely loved it down here, and the people, they were very good to me.
Well, how kind of reaction do you get from Waterford people when you bump into them?
It's the same as it was. Like, even when I was here as manager, anytime you'd walk down the street, like people would be saluting you. Like, naturally enough, you're not going to keep everyone happy when you're here. But thinking back on my time, I'm extremely proud of what we done. I remember coming down there telling me, yeah, that team is gone. They're over the hill. You haven't a chance of doing anything. We stayed there for another 3 and a bit years, so it was great. So I have nothing but like, I'm so happy with the time I had down here, and happy the way the people were to me, and still are. Yeah,
when you look back at your achievements, like still this Waterford's last Munster title back in 2010, that Saturday night down in Semple Stadium, are you pretty proud of what you did with that group when you look back on it now, Davy?
I'm extremely proud. I dealt with so many great players down here, like you Clinton, the Prendergast, you Brick, of course, Ken McGrath, John Milan, Tony Brown, Dan Shanahan, Maurice Shanahan. Like, there was so many, Steve Malumphey, you had so many great players that I got to work with. Like, that was my first inter-county team, and I probably was brought in the short term for a few months, and ended up staying 3.5 years, and got to 3 Munster finals, won one, got to 4 semi-finals and All-Ireland finals. So that ain't bad going, you know.
No, not bad at all. And I think you're still going 13 years later, Davy. You've been with Waterford, you've been with Clare, you've been with Wexford. What keeps you coming back year after year?
Listen, since I was a young chap, all I wanted to do was play hurling. And when you can't play, I suppose the next best thing is coaching, you know. And I've been very fortunate, like, after Waterford to win All-Ireland and the league, to win Leinster, with Wexford, things have been good, you know. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenges, and I'm certainly loving the one I'm at the moment with Wexford. How
close were you to stepping away in 2019 after the All-Ireland semi-final loss to Tipperary up in Croke Park?
Oh, I was gone. I was 100%. I was gone. I told the chairman after the game, and even the Sunday before I made the announcement on the Thursday, I had rang him to confirm. And that was 7 or 8 weeks after that I was definitely gone. And just the very last minute, I did a U-turn, and I suppose a lot of it would be down to the players, the incredible texts I got from them, and that would have been 30 texts, I think, which is unheard of for a manager to get that, even from fellas that aren't playing. County Board, incredible to me, and the people, it's just the right fix, and it's sat well, you know. But it is a long journey. There's a lot of other things, but I'm happy to be back there, and I'm enjoying it.
How often do you do that spin from 6 Mile Bridge to Wexford every week, Davy?
Probably 4 times a week, between 3 and 4 times a week. So it's a long trip. Like, I'd stay there a small bit, but not too often. Like, you could probably, if I'd say, maybe you could stay 10 times in the year or whatever, you know. That'd be it, 10 to 15. It's a tough trip. But I have good company with me. I'd have 2 of the lads from Clare always with me, and the crack in the car is good, you know, and that's half the battle.
Yeah, and I was looking at the DVD you put together for Christmas. There seems to be a special bond with that group of players. They will looking at the sing-songs in the dressing room and what you went through during pre-season as well. Why do you think there's that special bond between yourself and the players over these past couple of seasons?
I suppose, you know what, even as players you evolve, as management you evolve, like you try and change up things and do them different, and I'd have a different view maybe the last few years about what way you should approach it, and maybe that's come to seeing different things in life and maybe seeing how people suffer a bit and just realising like hurling is hurling, and it's important to let yourself go and enjoy it too. And the thing I'm excited about is, like, I love the way we play. People thought a sweeper is negative. I'm telling you 100% it allows the player to play with way more options and way more freedom, and you rarely have 7 back-to-back. It's way different than you think. And I think as a young kid when I was hurling, I'd imagine myself being a wing back to a wing forward to a full forward, and would you believe it, that's kind of how I like the lads playing, is I want them to feel that they're not stuck in a 30 by 30 box, a corner back and a corner forward. That would drive me crazy, and I want the lads to express themselves, and I want to give them an array of different options, so I can't tell them what to do. I want them to figure out themselves whether they go long, whether they go short, whether they cross-field it, whether they dink it, whether they have a shot at a score. That it's all their own choices. Let them have choices, just not let them get it and hit it. And I think hurling is such a skillful game. Why not have all the skills in it?
In what way have you approached it differently, David, compared to when you started out at Waterford back here in 2008?
No, well, like, I was probably managing maybe 14 or 15 years before that. Underage, and my club, I did every team in my club and that, but I think you get to understand things as you get older a bit better. I think you have to understand the individual way more. What makes now, I'd be very conscious of the individual, and how to get the best out of the individual, and try, like, I believe that we're spending such a lot of time together, that the time you spend doing anything, it should be good. It shouldn't be a chore to go to training. I don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be something that they actually enjoy. We'll be serious, we'll train hard, but we'll have the crack as well. Love finding out a few stories about them and letting them out halfway during training and having the crack as well. I think that's important. So it's to get a kind of a balance, Tomas, to answer your question, and I think I understand that a bit more.
Were you sorry to see Stephen Malumphey leave the setup this year, and I suppose Wexford's loss is Waterford's gain this year?
Yeah, I it's sad seeing go. I think he should have stayed another year. I think it wouldn't have done him any harm, even though he'd be a massive asset to Waterford. I always felt I had Stevie here. He was one of my leaders, 110% all the time. That's the type of guy he is, and he'll certainly be an asset to Waterford.
And finally, David, what have you made of Waterford's progress so far under a new manager, Liam Cahill?
Yeah, Liam has fairly laid down the law and put out his stall exactly how he wants it, and fair play to him. The lads are working extremely hard. We played them in a practice match recently, and they're working extremely hard for him. That's important. So it is. I'm sure Liam is happy enough with his progress so far, but as we all know, it's early in the year yet, and things only start to heat up probably from now on, you know. So I'm sure Liam is saying to himself, we're not in a bad position, but now we've got to capitalise and go even further. And Liam will be a very tough guy, and he'll demand high standards wherever he goes.
We are blue and white. We are WLR.